All right, so what it comes down to do is this, right? All of us wishes we had a rewind button. We're going to give you the do's and don'ts of commercial brokerage. And we're going to do it David Letterman style. For those of you that are too young to remember David Letterman, man, you make me feel old. But David Letterman used to do his like nightly countdown, and he would start at 10 and go down to 1 in order of importance. Okay? So, number 10, dedicate time to research before picking up the phone. Guys, do me a favor, type a 1 in the chat if you've ever researched a property, dialed a property, researched a property, dialed a property, researched a property, dialed a property, and you're like, this stinks, this is no fun, I don't like it, I'm not getting any momentum, when can I please do something that's not this, right? Okay, Karen's the only honest one? Okay, cool. Thank you, Karen, appreciate your honesty. Yeah, but guys, if you do it in that manner, it sucks. It's terrible, because you know what? We never get a chance to fully get into the groove, okay? Does anybody know what flow state is? Type a me in the chat. Have you ever heard the term flow state, right? Okay. Have you? Maybe you don't know the definition, but like you know the feeling. Have you ever been involved and engrossed in a project and you're just like, oh my, you're like in the zone? Maybe it's like when you're exercising or like playing a game or even at work, you know, or maybe you've done, I don't know, public speaking or reading a book, whatever. When you get so engrossed, for me, I know when I'm in the zone when reading a book, when I'm watching the movie. I'm not even reading words anymore. I'm watching the movie right in my head as my eyes are going over the words. Okay, so but when you research dial, you never are able to get to flow state. Flow state is when just like everything kind of just gets shut down and you get in the zone and time just passes really, really quickly. Okay. So when you batch your research and batch your dialing, you're able to get into a rhythm. You're able to get momentum. You're able to get into flow state. And that's the state where it's just like, this is fun, this is cool, and you're just bobbing and weaving, okay? So what I recommend, Henry Ford came up with the assembly line, which is basically take this whole very complex process of building a car and break it up into little individual jobs. And then this guy puts on this lug nut on this tire, and this guy puts this door handle, and this one puts on a rear view mirror, and everybody does it, and as a result, they wind up getting really good at it because they're able to do it quickly and they get very, very efficient at it. The same thing goes with batching your research and batching your phone, your dials. Does that make sense, guys? Type a 1 in the chat. That's making some sense for you, okay? Because I can't tell you how many, I used to do that as a new broker because no one ever told me the way to the proper kind of work shortcuts. And I'd be like, oh my God, this is no fun. And it would take me all afternoon to make 20 dials. Guys, now I make 20 dials in 30 minutes. Why? I batch my research and I know how to do things. Cool, all right, with me? Cool. Next up, guys, don't wing it. Have a strategy, okay? Type a me in the chat if you have a strategy, or not me if you don't. I want everybody to weigh in on this. Sean, that includes you, Kira, Amanda, who else are my Gold Star people? Louis, everybody, do me a favor, Karen, type in the chat, me or not me. Me if you have a strategy, not me if you don't. And if you don't have one yet, it's okay. It's totally fine. Because here's the thing, guys, right? There's an old saying. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. Can you imagine if Christopher Columbus was just like, yeah, man, I'm gonna hop on this Nina or Pinta or whatever one he was on, and just like, I'm just gonna sail, maybe I'll go south, maybe I'll go north. No. They knew that the new lands were to the west, right? And it's the reason why they were able to find is because they headed due west, and they found, what did they find? St. Augustine? No. Columbus, did he go to St. Augustine? Type in the chat. I'm like failing 6th grade history here. Any event, right? Christopher Columbus wound up somewhere. I want to say Ponce de Leon was in St. Augustine. Anyhow, I digress. The point is you have to have a strategy. If you don't have a strategy, if you don't wake up every single morning and know what you're going to be doing every, let's call it 2-hour block of the day, you don't have a strategy, okay? My students know exactly what they should be doing from 8 to 10, exactly from 10 to 11, exactly from 11 to 12, exactly from 12 to 1, exactly from 1 to 3, exactly from 3 to 5. You know why? Because we've carved it out and showed them exactly what the best use of their time is. Because this job, you never have a boss that goes, hey, you're not doing what you're supposed to. There's no one sitting over your shoulder saying, hey, you need to do this. Okay, so you have to have your own strategy, and then you have to stick to it. Okay, next up, qualify your buyers and tenants. All right, this is a fun one, guys, because I never used to do it, right? When I was a rookie broker, oh man, so many people wasted my time. So type a one in the chat if you've ever like, someone you somehow you ran into someone, or you knocked on a door, or you cold called, whatever, and they're like, yeah, sure, awesome, I need XYZ ABC, and you're like, yeah, I can find you XYZ ABC. So you go into LoopNet and CoStar, Crexi and MLS, you start looking for commercial properties, and you put together this big long report or presentation. I did a PowerPoint one time on a lady that didn't even want to look at it, right? Suffice to say, bottom line, guys, you do all this work, and all of a sudden, crickets, right? They don't call you back. They don't return any of your texts. They don't return any of your emails. They don't even have the common courtesy to tell you to go pound sand, okay? The reason being is you were probably doing work for somebody that you should not have been doing work for, right? Lou is with me, Kira's with me. Yeah, guys, it happens to all of us, okay? The problem is you didn't qualify them, right? It's like, man, it sucks. It's no fun. It's really no fun. But the good thing is there are questioning strategies that you can use, so you know whether they're motivated, so you know if they have the money, so you know. Because remember this, guys, right? How many of you, show your hands, right? Raise your hands if you've ever been afraid to ask somebody a maybe a little uncomfortable question, okay? Remember this. Those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter, okay? If someone doesn't want to tell you their motivation for wanting to move from a smaller space to a bigger space, they're not that serious. Move on to the next. If someone doesn't want to tell you why they want to sell, move on to the next. You know why? Because it costs them absolutely nothing to waste your valuable time. Speaking of which, guys, we're just doing a fun little exercise right now. Do me a favor. Type your hourly rate in the chat. If you don't know what your hourly rate is, I'm going to teach you how to do it right now, okay? Take whatever you want to make in 2025 and divide it by 2,000. Why 2,000? 40 hours in a week, 50 weeks in a year, assuming you take 2 for vacation. 40 times 50 is 2,000, okay? Cool, love it. Let's go, Kira. Let's go, Karen. 500 an hour, 300 an hour. All right, I like it. Good, 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 good. So every hour that Karen wastes on somebody or Kira wastes on someone, that's between $300 and $500. Wastes 10 hours of chasing around the wrong people, that's thousands of dollars. You with me, guys? Okay, so learn how to qualify your buyers and tenants. If you don't know how, find someone that does. We teach that. Know what your time is worth. Guess what? We just did the math. Wow, I'm ahead of myself here. Yeah. You got to know what your time is worth, guys. Because here's the thing. Mikhail, thank you. $480 an hour. Good. Love it. Guys, here's the thing. Think of it this way. That's $80,000 a month. I'm not a smarty pants, but I can do math, right? $80,000 a month is a lot of money, okay? So you have to protect your time, okay? Write this down, folks. He or she who protects their time protects their income. He or she who protects their time protects their income. When you control your time, you control your income. Because think about it. I don't know, Kira, hop on the mic for a second real quick.
Yes.
Kira, answer me this. Do me a favor. Would you ever in a million years rip up $100 bill?
No.
Well, why not?
Because it's got value. It's a tool.
Right, exactly. Because it's crazy. Because Mama taught you better than that. But Kira, have you ever had a conversation with a coworker for like 10 minutes that was like not work related, that did not further your making $1 million in a year?
Have I? But I don't make a practice of it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I've gotten used to making my conversations intentional. Otherwise, I just kind of
that's good.
eat at my desk.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna eat at my desk club too, right? But the point is, if you've ever had so little as a 10-minute conversation, that's the equivalent of ripping up $100 bill, right? You guys really want to drive this home? rip up a $20 bill, put it in a Ziploc bag, and pin it to the wall of your office. It's only 20 bucks, right? But that'll make sure, that'll be a very good reminder of what your time is worth. Does that make sense, guys? You with me? Thanks for having on, Kira. Appreciate it. Okay, so know what your time is worth, guys. If you don't know what your time is worth, you can't control your income. Here's the other thing, guys. You also, if you are looking at 300 an hour, 400 an hour, 500 an hour, guess what? You absolutely cannot afford to do anything that's not commensurate with your hourly rate. So you can't afford to do 10 or 20 or $30 an hour work. You have to offload that stuff. All right? Cool. Next up, create a call list / to-do list the night before. Okay? We already talked about separating your research from your dialing. Okay? I want you guys to plan for your day the night before. Why do you think that is, guys? Type it in the chat. Why do you think that is? Nick, type in the chat. Why do you think that is, buddy? Why do we want to do that the night before? Guys, in between these little ears of yours, okay? Mine are kind of big, I've been told. You have a supercomputer, okay? That supercomputer goes to work for you while you sleep, okay? So if you, there we go, Nick says you do not have to think exactly, right? So number one, when you get to the office, you do not have to think. You already have your day planned out for you. On top of that, guys, okay? Yeah, Kira, you're more mentally prepared and more effective. Yeah. Knowing what we know about our brains, have you guys ever heard of the reticular activation center of your brain? Okay. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Okay, for any Tony Robbins fans out there, right? I learned the phenomenon when I was a teenager, but I didn't know what the name was, right? I bought a Honda Accord, right? And I was coming home from the dealership, and I swear every third car I saw on the road was a Honda. And I was like, look, there's one, look, there's one, look, there's one, right? And that's the first time I realized when you bring something to your consciousness, you start seeing it everywhere, okay? Similarly, when you plan the night before, you're bringing tomorrow's challenges, to your consciousness. And guess what? While you sleep, while that big old brain of yours is downloading the day and getting ready for the next, guess what? It's figuring out different angles for the next day. And you're going to wake up with intuition. You're going to wake up with insights for tomorrow that will help you, okay? Absolutely. Wake up, take action. Love it, love it, love it. Next up, guys. Do not sign NDAs and CAs without reading the fine print. Guys, there are unscrupulous brokerage companies out there. I know some brokerage companies that will make you, literally, if you want information on their property, you have to give them the name, email, and phone number of your client. How about that? So they can directly market to them and cut you out of the equation next time around. Not cool. And conversations will change. Quantum entanglement. Yeah, let's go. Okay, we're talking about quantum physics now. Yeah. So the point is, guys, you don't want to sign NDAs and CAs and basically be signing over all of your rights. Very, very important. Okay. Don't try to buy the business. Okay. I wish. So I have like well over 1,000 conversations with agents, on a yearly basis, right? One-on-one conversations. And the one I hear all the time is, I'll figure it all out. I just need to know where to get leads. I just need to know where to buy leads. I'm like, man, I wish it was that easy too. You cannot buy this business. You have to learn where to fish. Once you learn where to fish, then it's a question of how many times you want to cast that rod into the water and reel it back in. All right, guys? Next up, learn to let the prospect speak and really listen. Guys, that whole adage of like 2 ears, 1 mouth, right? Do twice as much listening as you do speaking. The reason being, folks, you really don't know what someone's really thinking until you let them tell you. And believe it or not, if you have the right questioning strategies, they'll tell you everything you need to know if you know the right questions to ask and you be quiet and listen. All right, guys? Next up, do not chase huge deals in the beginning. Ooh, I'm going to give you guys a good one right now. Who here wants to learn the secret to closing a $50 million deal? Type me in the chat. I want to get a bunch of me's. Only if we get a bunch of me's will I teach you this secret that took me years to learn. Okay, Karen's with me. All right. Laura's with me. Nick's with me. Come on. Who wants more? Who wants it? Mikhail's with me. Okay. All right. We're almost there. There we go. Are we at the tipping point? Yes. One more. One more. One more. There it is. Okay, guys, here's how you close a $50 million deal. Close 50 $1 million deals. Close 25 $2 million deals. Take your pick, close 5, $10 million deals. You with me, guys? Okay. The whole point of it, guys, it's not in the $50 million deal, okay? It's in all the lessons you learn in those 50 deals that are $1 million. You with me? Okay. There was a study done a while back. I think it's absolutely fascinating, and I quote it all the time. They took a college level pottery class and they split it into A class and B class, right? And the A group, they said, we don't care how many you make. We just want you to make the best possible pot that you can, right? And they took the other half of the class and they said, hey, listen, guys, we don't care about the quality. We just want you to crank these out. And we want you to make as many of these ceramic pots as you possibly can. And guess what? They waited till the end of the semester. They looked at the two groups. They compared the two. And the interesting thing is, okay, the people that were so concerned with quality, those are the ones that had an inferior pot compared to the ones that were there to do and focus on volume. So the point is, volume teaches you everything you need to know. All the lessons you need to know, everything you need to know is on the other side of volume. Is that an eye-opener for any of you guys? Type an exclamation point in the chat if that's a light bulb for you. Kira says, it's actually more profitable for the work to do more volume and smaller deals. Absolutely, yeah, because you're going to get better that much faster. 100%, Kira. Yeah, you're on the right page, okay? And finally, guys, I told you, and this is all in reverse order, a la Mr. David Letterman, okay? Bottom line is, the most important thing is get a mentor. Does anybody here watch NASCAR? Anybody watch NASCAR, right? I don't watch much like racing, but I understand the concept. I think it's fascinating that cars can travel like 200 miles an hour, like a foot and a half. You think like people are like, you know, like tailgating on I-95 or I-75, wherever you guys live, Route 80, whatever, right? It's way worse in NASCAR. They're literally 2 feet apart at 150 or 200 miles an hour. And they do that for a reason, okay? And that reason is called drafting. Now, what's interesting thing about drafting is the car in front has to spend all the energy. You know why? As it's going 200 miles an hour, it's pushing a lot of air out of the way as it's traveling. What happens is it literally, if you get close enough behind that car, literally creates a suction and pulls the car behind it. So what it allows the car behind it to do is burn less gas and literally drive faster. And then at the right moment, it goes around and it can literally create a slingshot around because it has all that saved up energy. The point is, right, when you have a mentor, it's like drafting. It's like, any of you guys live in snowy areas? I'm from Jersey originally, right? Like I've spent many winters in the cold, okay? For those of you that have ever driven on a snowy road, you know what I'm talking about. When you're behind the snowplow, it's the best place to be. You know why? They're doing all the hard work of pushing everything out of the way for you so you have a nice clean lane. Having a mentor does exactly that. They make the mistakes for you. They take the bumps and the bruises for you. Are they going to be able to take out 100% of the bumps and the bruises and the mistakes? No. But I tell you what, you're going to be a whole lot better off than you trying to figure it out on your own. You with me, guys? So the fastest way to repeat others' success is to learn from someone else that has already done it and follow what they did. It's called the cause and effect, right? The law of cause and effect. If one person did it, there's a pretty good chance if you do the same steps, the same order of operations, you're going to be able to do it as well. Thanks for being here, guys. Take something, implement it starting tomorrow. Nice to see you all, and I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Take care. Bye-bye.